everybody? Welcome to the Tapped Out Wrestling Podcast. I'm Nick McDaniel. He's Myron Fancher. How the heck are you, buddy?
Oh, folks. This may be called Thursday Raw because we haven't prepared as much as usual with each other because we wanted to argue with some stuff. There's a lot of hot topics. Back when Hot Topic was a good place where you get those good posters.
Oh, back when you could get the Young Buck stuff that you loved? You loved those Young Buck shirts. Listen, they were value. They were a great value at the Hot Topic, but there ain't nothing else as good a value, Myron, is our Patreon. Patreon.com/tappedoutpod. The show notes, folks, are going to become even more crucial here over the next few weeks and months and years down the road. We'll discuss that here shortly in a minute. Those are at the $1 level, the $5. You're going to get the weekly shows. You get those early. $10, you're going to get anything we ever create early. That's going to become more important over the upcoming weeks and months as well. And you also get that digital collectible, the monthly Patreon exclusive only at the $10 level. You get the digital copy. And, of course, at the $25 tier, you get the physical 8.5 by 11. Those did mail out last week. Everybody should have theirs. Cross your fingers. If not, tappedoutpod@gmail.com. Let me know. Last month's Black Machismo, Jay Lethal went out.
Nice.
They were really cool. I hope everybody likes those and appreciates those. I don't think about this for $25. Boom, $25 tier. That's what dude's charging at. So you got all the Patreon stuff essentially for free because I gave you a $25 value with a 8.5 by 11 autograph Black Machismo Jay Lethal collectible, dude. Like, what are you doing? It's clearly worth the value, folks. Jump on board. I don't think I can, give it to you any better. So, anyway, with that being said, Myron, I want to get into a little bit. We talked about it on the Tapped In show. We talked about it on the Georgia Wrestling Spotlight. We're going to talk about it here on the Tapped Out podcast. New format start next week. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's nothing earth-shattering. I didn't think it was a big deal. I apologize if you do. Georgia Wrestling Spotlight, we just finished recording the final one. So those are gone. Those will be no more. We're going to take the Indie Rewind segment, slide it over to the Tapped In show, Making the Drive segment, slide it right over to this show, the Tapped Out podcast, where Myron and I will cover those on a weekly basis. That's why the show notes are going to be so important, because it will be a way more detailed version of that. We're going to hit the highlights. It'll probably be a slightly more accelerated way of covering them. And we're going to be super particular about, guys, you got to get your information in. We need it ahead of recording. I don't have as much time as I used to go digging for it. So we need your cooperation. By the way, I completely appreciate and want to say thank you to everybody who has always done such a great job. I may reach out individually to you guys and message you, the ones that they've done a great job. There's promotions, I've never tracked them down. There's promotions it's literally, I send the form and then I get it. I appreciate you guys. There's a lot. Let's go with that. There's a lot.
And what if I'm a national wrestling fan? I don't care about the local indie scene in Georgia. What do I do, Nick?
Dude, we're making it simple. The show's going to be the national show. And at the end, if you live in Texas and you can't come to a show, by the way, I still would encourage you to, because most of the shows are on YouTube. It's a great way to stay up, and you might pick up a show that you can watch on YouTube, and you can be a fan. I know personally fans I've gotten messages, Coastal Empire's gotten those messages, that guys overseas that watch the show because they like it on YouTube.
Oh, that'd be
the power of YouTube, folks.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah,
so
definitely.
We're telling you, even if you can't come to them, listen. Follow along with us. Become a fan, dude. Start following them on YouTube. For the ones we tell you that are on YouTube, follow them. That's all I can tell you. And at the indie show, at the end of that one, we'll be doing the rewind. So all encompassing. Before we move on, I did say this on the Tapped In show. I get it because, he is a national name. Shout out, much love, thoughts and prayers with Bull Buchanan. He had a stay at the hospital over the weekend, the diverticulitis. Hey, he put it out on social media. I'm not breaking the story, so I'm just kind of saying, hey, but I was glad to see he did get home. He cut one of his shooting the bulls, take that meds, heal up, we hope to see you back at Bullpen really,
My
really
mom was
soon.
in intensive care for 10 days with that over the summer. I understand how bad that can be. I am so glad to hear he's doing better.
Yeah, I agree. So kudos, I'm glad to see him at home. That made me happy. I gave him a little post, comment on one of his posts. Kudos to Bull
Such
Buchanan.
a nice guy.
Yeah, if you guys are a national fan, if he was, WWE party, right to censor, shoot him a message and some well wishes on all of his social media, man. He's such a good guy. He's such a good dude. That's all I can tell you, man. Myron, let's jump into some of the big news of the weekend. Wrestlepalooza has come and gone. The first PLE on the ESPN app. We're going to get to the ESPN app stuff in a minute. I promise you. We're getting there. Let's just talk a little bit about what happened actually on the show itself. John Cena absolutely destroyed Brock Lesnar.
I did not see that coming. Now, are the rumors I heard about Paul Heyman talking him into changing it that morning, are those true? I mean, all those poor children who came out so happy, dancing, and then you get pictures of them in the thing after. But Lesnar didn't just beat him. Lesnar just destroyed him. It was horrible. It was horrible.
I think you brought it up to me off air. You were kind of like, this can't be the end of this, right? Like, there's got to be more. Just has to be. I'll ask you here. Let's out of order, whatever. Do they dare make Brock Lesnar the final opponent at Saturday Night Main Event and give John Cena a win over him on the way out? Back up. Hold on. Before you answer that, do you even want to see him wrestle Lesnar again at Saturday Night Main Event, or do you want it to be somebody else?
I want to see it again, Nick. I want to see it again. I want to see him win. Now I'm invested to see if he wins or not. Okay. I got to see it, Nick. I got to see it now.
Yeah, it just shocked me. Wife was watching it, of course, for that match at least, and was like, "What?" Like, I'm like,
Those
didn't
poor
see
children.
that coming.
Those poor crying children. This has been the year of pictures of children. Belgium boy. Remember Belgium boy? And now we've got all those poor children. They're in Indianapolis that came out dancing with Cena. And they got so sad.
It just was. It was so depressing. I don't know, man. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I'm like, we've seen this before, right? Maybe Brock Lesnar's just got his number. Who knows?
Brock Lesnar's a national super name outside of wrestling that would help ESPN viewers over the course of the day, where they talked about it all day long, did they not? You watch football all day. They talked about it all day long. Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar. You get in. Okay.
Yeah. Also, the Vision defeated the Usos. Jay apparently was injured, but hey, kudos, by the way, he wrestled last night, so he was back.
That concussion protocol is not very impressive. That's it. I mean,
look, he's maybe cleared it. Quarterbacks clear it pretty quick sometimes. Sometimes not so much, Tua. I mean, but it does. I mean, I'm just saying it can happen.
But he's wrestling the guy he's on the Slim Jim commercial with.
Yeah.
They're Slim Jims, buddies, and now they're wrestling around all the storylines.
Stephanie Vacour, she, by the way, has skyrocketed to the top. I feel like it's been months since she's been there, and she's now the world champion, and women's world champion, when she defeated Io Sky. I know you're a big fan of hers.
Yes.
Do you think it was too fast?
I worry about that. I worry it was too fast. But when I go back and look at the positioning, to have a South American champion right around the AAA bye, that's a really big thing that will, makes it easier to deal with. She's phenomenally talented. They're needing a bigger audience since they're on a bigger platform now. It's a great business decision. It's also someone who can wrestle, who can just tear it up. So I
Yeah.
think it was a right decision. They've already bumped Io Sky out into this other storyline going on with the Kabuki Warriors.
Here's the hilarious part, and I'm not saying this. I hope people don't take this in a negative way, but it was funny because somebody was like, "Oh, well, but her English isn't very good, and she doesn't cut a promo very well." And I'm like, "She beat Io Sky."
Yep.
I'm
Who
like,
couldn't
I
cut?
mean,
Hey, and her promo Monday was great.
I
Had her
agree.
dad. Yeah, it was perfect. Exactly what you needed. And now you've reset that whole women's division on Raw. It is on fire. Rhea.
And they quickly
Asuka.
moved Io out of the pit. You know what I mean? Like quickly,
Yeah.
boom, she's tied up over here now.
Yeah.
She's got some other stuff going on.
Yes.
Takes her out of it, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, look, my opinion, there were two matches. Listen, folks, we always talk about most shows, whether you like to admit it or not, most cards are 2 or 3 match cards. If you get more than that, thumbs up. But that's typically what you're going to get. Lesnar Cena obviously was in one of the matches. The other one was CM Punk and AJ Lee taking on Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch.
That delivered.
I agree.
That delivered. You got everybody you wanted to see in all the positions you want to see them in, doing all their hits. Perfect. That couldn't have gone any better. And I was really happy about that because that's when I got up and went upstairs and ate dinner because I was not really invested in the Cody and Drew. And where's that going?
Which one?
Cody and Drew. What are they going to do with that? They're just going to one-off that.
I think it was just a one and done. I'm not saying that Drew doesn't. They're doing a really good job, WWE is, in my opinion, of coming back and circling around with things of like you think they're done, but something happens and it brings the guy back. Listen, I think clearly Punk and Lee, they get the win. I think they hopefully I hope that thing splits a little bit because it looks at the at the post press conference, whatever you want to call that thing, we get the face off of Seth and Cody. That's what we're getting at Crown Jewel. We're getting that whole the ring,
that was cool.
Whatever.
That was cool last night. And I really am excited about Cena and AJ, man. I think that is super exciting for me. I'm looking forward to that a lot.
I'm glad we're going to get it, to be honest with you. I didn't think we were going to. It'll be fun to see, but it looks like we're going to get, obviously, Cody's going to move on to Seth. AJ and Cena, that's going to tie up or whatever. I think AJ Lee probably heads towards Becky. That's probably what it looks like. We're going to get some, singles action there for that title. We'll see the Intercontinental title. We'll go from there. Here's the thing I wanted to get into some of this about this. I get it, folks. We're not even going to get into the article. We'll get to that later. But just people, social media talking about like, it just, the card under-delivered, it wasn't whatever. And I think what I wanted to get to in this particular segment of it, I think the 2 shows on Saturday really showed us something. But back up. I'm not speaking for everybody else. I'm going to speak for myself. One show is pro wrestling.
Yes.
We call that AEW, folks, in case you're curious.
And it had a whole lot of matches. A whole lot of matches of all different styles.
WWE, folks, it's called sports entertainment for a reason. It's a different product. I had a conversation with a wrestler about this, and I said, do people just not understand this? Like, they're not even the same products. It's 2 different things. You're comparing AEW and WWE, and they're not even putting out the same products intentionally, by the way. And by the way, let me tell you this, Myron. Do you remember not so long ago, people wanted an alternative. They wanted a different product, and you're getting that 2 different products.
It's like Star Wars and Star Trek. They're both science fiction, but they're completely different themes. I really like the fact I've got an alternative. I also had the alternative when I wasn't interested in the match. I got up and didn't watch it, ate my dinner, and watched it the next day.
Right.
Because I can do that. I cannot watch everything. I don't understand the fact that people think I don't like the WWE, but I'm going to watch every show just so I have something to complain about.
We're going to dive into that. I promise you. There's a segment coming in where we're going to dive into that really, really deep. But I was just trying to stress to the home that I was telling somebody, this one's wrestling. A lot of it, by the way, and we will get to All Out here in a little bit.
Good.
There was some really good wrestling. Again, we'll dive into that, absolutely. But then the conversation spun into, okay, here's the thing I was most confused about. The ESPN app, everything that's kind of blown up over the last few weeks. Listen, first of all, Nick's impressions. Myron, I want your impression. I used the app. I thought it was super fun. Now,
on your TV.
Here's the thing I don't know.
Use the app on your TV.
Apple TV. Apple TV app.
I use mine on my PC. Down in the basement.
I'm not aware if there's any differences. I've used it on my phone, by the way. I've used it on my Apple TV. Shockingly, I have an iPhone, so it kind of works a little bit similar. But to tinker around with it, I'm going to download it I have some of my TVs are Roku TVs, so I'm like, you know what? I need to download it because there's a whole lecture of why I don't use the apps on the TVs. I think the Wi-Fi systems on TVs suck. That's why I hardwire an Apple TV for all my TVs. It's a totally different conversation. But people go like, oh, lag a lot. I'm like, are you using a Roku TV? Yeah. Is it on Wi-Fi? Yeah. There's your problem. I've
never had that problem with my Roku TVs. But then again, my router is 6 feet from my television upstairs.
Well, there you go.
But right? I watch my shows. Everything I watch is on a hardwired PC right here in front of me. I've got 4 monitors hooked up. So I didn't use that 4-monitor feature. You and Josh Fields said that was the greatest thing ever.
Oh yeah, so I thought the interface was super easy. So anybody who says they can't work the app, I love you too, Grandma, Grandpa. I mean, I am a grandpa. You know,
we're 50s, in our 50s.
It works great. The app itself. We're not talking about price yet. Don't bitch at me yet. We're just talking about the actual functionality of the app. I thought it was really, really super simple to use. That's and just me.
You had the commercial app part.
Yeah. I don't mind ads. I pay for the ads on everything. Here's the thing, though.
Go ahead.
I'm considering the ad-free version when it's up. If it goes to $35 or whatever, I'm contemplating like, hey, maybe $5 more. Because if you're doing the bundle for Disney, Hulu, and then they're all the ad-free version, it may be worth it.
Well, I'm going to tell you real quick. They have said again that most cable providers will have it soon, according to ESPN. I got the ad-free because I have ad-free Disney. I watch Disney Channel a lot, folks. I watch the Star Wars shows repeatedly. I watch the Marvel things on there. Okay. I like that commercial free. So I got the commercial free. The commercials they had on Wrestlepalooza, I would have rather seen real commercials than that screensaver and boring elevator music. I don't know why I'm paying more for that.
Right. On the live shows, it's going to have
on the replay, it was still there, Nick. When I watched the Cody match the next day, on the replay, the elevator music commercials were still there. I don't know why. But here's the thing. It was super clear. It was easy to work with. I already had Disney and Hulu anyway, so I just put a $12 add-on to it.
Let me cover this, and we'll come to the cost. Let's cover this because you brought up the TV things. Here's a lesson. I don't know if a lot of people, and I understand. Look, by the way, I'm not saying I don't have any understanding of where some of the issues are coming from. But sometimes you gotta dig just a little bit, do a little bit of work, and try. So when it comes to the TV deals, most people don't understand. Do you remember they were not supposed to get the WWE this early? It was going to be much later.
No.
They weren't concerned with working TV deals out at such a rapid rate because it was supposed to be like next WrestleMania.
And they were just trying it out, with sports, getting used to it, all this stuff. They didn't have this.
Here's from my understanding. I was told by sources that ESPN wanted something to help push the launch and get hey, let's hurry up and try to get some, immediate growth. And the WWE was what they thought was the quickest, the way to do it. The problem is when they did that, they knew we're pushing this thing literally months and months early. Well, the problem with that is you didn't have deals with YouTube, I know some of the others that didn't have it, right? There's other Charter, or Comcast, I don't think had it, or I can't remember hell who did and all or whatever. There was only a handful that had it. By the way, you ready for this? Here's the hard part to swallow. That's not WWE's fault at all.
Nope.
It's kind of barely ESPN's fault, because if you're a consumer bitching that they don't have a deal with your TV provider, my argument is that is your provider problem.
Well, that I would have switched. Okay, I was going to switch, and I told my wife, I said, "Look, we're going to switch so we can get this package." She goes, "I don't want to switch cable providers again." We switched cable providers like 4 years ago, and she's still bitching about it. So you know what I did? I went out and got the $12 package. I'm good with that. I added $12. W Network at the time was $10, so not that big a deal.
So let's get into Myron's math, folks, because this was a conversation we had in the car, and we said, okay, the bundle. If you're an ad person, let's go with the cheap math. It's $30, $29.99. I can't believe it's $30. Hold on, let's do some math for you, folks. This is a broad stroke conversation, and I'm fully aware of that. But I'm going to say it this way. If you already had Disney Plus, 9, 15, whichever package you have, which dollar amount did you tell me yours was? It was like 15, right? Something like that.
Yeah, it's like 15 or so, yeah.
Okay. And then I said, hey, do you have Hulu as well? And you were like, I said, do you have Hulu as well? Myron said.
Yes,
I said, what are you paying for that one a month? And Myron's like, $10, 14, whatever the hell it was or something. And I'm like, you do see that you're almost at the 30 already, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, just add the ESPN bundle where you get those 3 in one bundle. And I'm like, oh, and by the way, what were you paying for Peacock? And you were like, oh, it was like 14 or 12 or whatever it was. Yes. I'm like, so basically it might actually save you money to get this bundle.
It's going to save me money. I would have got rid of Peacock, but the wife loves it. Once again, I'm going to tell you guys, I got Myron's secret to watch all the wrestling you want to watch. Make your wife happy with your television and cable packages, and then she'll watch those shitty shows you don't want to watch and let you sit in the basement and watch all the wrestling and all the football. Okay? You don't have to fight over the TV if you've got all the British baking show, all the Say Yes to the Dress that they can stand, choke them on Say Yes to the Dress. You sit in the basement and watch wrestling. I sit right here. I just move this microphone out of the way and take off these headphones and watch whatever I want to.
I think the value's there, that it's just a simple, plus, and not to mention, I was like, I'm sure you blow $30 on something worse in the month. But the grand value for me personally, now there's another argument with I'm like, dude, if you're a sports fan, it's a no-brainer. Again, yes. Josh, we were messaging back and forth. He posted it on his social media. Saturday night, I'm chilling on the couch. I've got the 4-box. I got the quad box up. I got Wrestlepalooza in one. I got 3 college football games in the others. Dude, I'm like, I'm in. I mean, big TV, giant TV, 4. I'm like, dude, this is like all of these 4 are the size that it would have been a TV that I would have been watching, back in the day anyway.
Yeah.
The value's there, folks. And I get it. Everybody's like, WWE bad. I understand. I get it. They're
going to
evil.
hate it anyway.
I understand.
Don't watch it.
It's that simple.
Don't pay for it. Don't
here's
watch
the, Here's the ultimate what I said about the app. And I'm probably jumping into the segment ahead. Don't pay the $30. Don't watch. Don't necessarily need to post because I don't give a shit if you're not going to watch it. I understand. $30 is a lot of money to people.
They do so much YouTube highlights. You don't really even need to watch it.
Yeah.
If you don't want to. YouTube, go on there for free.
Yeah.
With the ads and watch it.
But Myron, that's going to lead us into our next topic because we talked about. That was one of the things I'm going to, we'll get into of. I could not believe there is very rare an occasion that I don't, and you admit I don't have a lot of these. I have some. They happen from time to time. Nick had just a terrible week with the discourse, and I was like, literally,
You're usually a very calm, even-keeled individual, but when you start losing your shit, which this is shit losable about, it's crazy. Please explain to the listeners what set you off.
It was just I felt like between. We touched on it a little bit, All Out's in. Great show by all measures across the board. Wrestlepalooza, was it the best PLE they've ever done? Absolutely not. We'll get to that in a second. But, I saw a story. WWE bought tickets to leave empty on the hard cam side to make AEW All Out look bad. They were moving people from one side to the other, and it was like, a dude who worked at the venue, his brother's cousin's uncle was sitting next to me, and he told me, and that shit made news sites. And I was like,
Click.
You think the national media is bad? Jesus, this is the pro wrestling media at its best. That I was like, so somebody that worked in the venue or their brother's uncle's cousin told you that this was true? Like, where did that guy work? Was he an usher and he just heard,
He's a Zodiac killer.
Who knows? Who the hell knows?
Folks, honestly, I don't like AEW. I didn't like the fact MJF did a tax match. Why would MJF have to do a tax match? Okay? He's a super good talent. Have I sit on here and busted everybody on the internet's dick because he did that? Have I said anything about AEW? I just don't watch it. I cover as much of it as I possibly can. I watched highlight reels, all the AEW official highlight packages, so I went through every match and I knew what I was talking about, but I didn't want to watch the pay-per-view. Okay?
You missed a great one. I will tell you that. It was a great one, and it is what it is.
But I didn't have to argue with anybody about it.
No. But then with their stories out there, ESPN's already they're already unhappy after they've sank hundreds of millions of dollars in there. They even had somebody wrote an article, a writer for ESPN, gave the show a C review for Wrestlepalooza. Now, I agree with JBL. It's weird that it happened, like the first one right out of the gate. But you know what I said, Myron? I said, Nick, guess what that means? They got a real reporter who didn't want to lie. Because here's the thing, Meltzer. This ain't Meltzer. This ain't wrestling news journalist. This ain't wrestling. This isn't. I'm gonna throw us under the bus. This isn't pro wrestling podcast people like us. This is this is legit guy who has to write and has to be taken seriously. As a writer,
out the ass. He's a combat sports journalist. He is not Dave Meltzer who just hung around wrestling long enough to get into this. This guy is a serious big deal.
He understands if he writes that the show was an A+ show and everybody and their brother goes, because Byron, neither one of us are sitting here telling you that they did an A show.
I would have given it a B.
I mean, look, but I'm not losing my shit that he gave it a C. I'm like, okay. By the way, you ready for this? A C's passing. It's an average show. Everybody acts like the C's the worst grade he could have given them. It was an average PLE, folks.
For your first test, you went in and did an average PLE. Was this PLE better or less than any other PLE they've done this year?
You ready for this, Myron? Are you aware ESPN asked for McIntyre and Cody to go on last? You know why?
Why?
Because they're sports. You know that? And guess what they think? Sports people think championship's the most important thing. It should go on last. So they got what they wanted. Did the match under-deliver? 100% I agree with that comment. I would. It's a C. It's still a passing. It's an average show. People act like a C was they gave them an F. You know what a doctor with a C average is, Myron?
A doctor.
A doctor. Exactly.
A pharmacist with a C average is.
I knew you were going to go there.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
He's like,
I learned it in the field. But when we
yeah.
think about it, you got your wrestling match with Vicario. You got your spectacle with the Mitch tag team match. You got your everything else was just kind of put it in here and there, make it work.
It was average.
It was an average pay-per-view. AEW is the one that puts their money into pay-per-views.
Well, they have to because they charge you $40 to $50.
They charge you for it. Okay.
Yes. Now, by the way, I'm going to keep pushing back on this till I don't know when. I understand the conception here, but you are thinking about. Okay, I wasn't going to say it this way. If you're saying, well, my WWE PLEs are going to cost me $30, you're not looking at the big picture, in my opinion. But I will side with you and tell you, if you don't watch anything on Hulu, you don't watch anything on Disney Plus, and you don't watch sports, you are correct. The ESPN app for your WWE PLEs, they cost you $30. But I find it hard to believe that you're a WWE fan of any sense and you don't watch any sports, because I watched a ton of sports on that app since I've gotten it. I was telling my son-in-law, dude, there's soccer on there.
He's a big soccer fan.
And when I say soccer, I mean, football. I have to tell him, I say it's football. He said, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, there's like Spain was playing on there the other day and that kind of stuff. I'm like, no, there's like other stuff. Like it's early in the morning because time differences and all that. But like I'm trying to see, I watched college football on it last night.
Baseball? I
had the damnedest thing, Myron. Monday Night Football split with the two simulcast, where the regular broadcast is in one window and the Manning cast is in the other one. So if I got tired of listening to the Manning cast for a second, I don't, by the way. I leave it there pretty much. I love the Manning cast. But if you got tired of it, you could just go and move over and you get the regular broadcast playing and you could hear that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, this is why I really like the Manning cast. And I jump back over and you can watch the, bounce between the two if you wanted to.
Okay, math, man. $30 a month times 12 months is how much?
$360.
$40 a month times 12 months is how much?
$480.
You're already paying. If you're watching all the AEW pay-per-views, you're already at least paying that.
Okay. Now
watch the AEW pay-per-views if you like those. I'm going to backpedal around. I know we're going long on this topic. Don't care. This was a passion button of mine for the week. So part of people talking about, like, I understand, folks, Netflix has everything in the international thing. Totally understand that. People complaining that, like, yeah, but if you're in America, US, whatever, you like, hey, I got to get Peacock for the Saturday night main events. I got to get Peacock for the NXT stuff for now as well. I'm hearing a rumor they're going to keep the vault, which is a weird thing if they do. By the way, I'm like, that makes no sense. But hey, if they see a value with it, awesome. To do the PLEs, you got to do ESPN. If you want to do Raw, you got to have Netflix. If you want to do SmackDown, you got to have the USA Network. I'm like, okay, this is a little bit on the insane side. I understand all the above. However, hear me out. One provider in the United States is not paying, total up all those numbers. Even if they gave them a hometown discount and said, you get it all and we'll shave off. By the way, TKO ain't shaving off no money for a discount. No, they're trying to make as much money as possible.
Correct.
They're a business with shareholders.
Correct. So my argument is people do have to understand, like, they are trying to. Now, I understand there's a lot of people out there making the case for, they're just pocketing it. They are pocketing. By the way, thank you. The dividend checks come. I mean, you see those or whatever, but the wrestlers are making more money now at the higher levels. I get it. Not everybody, but there are guys making a shit ton of money more than they've ever made ever. They're going to generate as much revenue as they possibly can. They're keeping a lot of it because they're a publicly traded company and that's what they're supposed to do. But again, back to my point, there's no company going to pay for what Netflix paid for Raw, what the CW paid for Netflix or for NXT, you get where I'm going, Peacock and ESPN App, whatever. It's not going to happen. And you want to know why? I'll tell you why. Everybody says this company overpaid, whatever. They bought this many viewers for this long, week in, week out consistency. If Netflix said they wanted SmackDown, by the way, in other countries, they're not getting these deals. It was easy for Netflix. Do you see what I'm saying? Netflix could have afforded to buy it all.
In Portugal? I don't know.
No, but what I'm saying is,
it might cost a lot of money.
Netflix was willing, in the price they paid, it was enough to absorb the fees they were getting because guess what? In those other countries, everything was already on one channel. You know what I mean? So it was like they just absorbed it up and it was worthwhile. In America, there's just not enough cash from one service to pay them all of that, because you're only going to gain, in the grand scheme of things, they're probably looking at it going, okay, if we get, ask yourself this, is Netflix willing to drop another $600 million for SmackDown? And they're like, really, realistically, all that's getting us is probably that same 1.5 million, same audience on Friday that we're getting on Monday, right? That's all it's really getting them. There's no repeat. And what I mean by that is no more people are subscribing to Netflix to get SmackDown included because they're already getting it if they're getting Raw.
But they're diversifying and putting on different platforms so they can make more money. Okay,
because
wrestling costs
Netflix,
more money.
Yeah, Netflix not going to pay that much. USA's not going to pay that much to keep them both. They clearly didn't. They let it walk. ESPN, et cetera, et cetera. It's all mathed around, and it just boils down to the fact that they have to try to make as much money as they possibly can.
Entertainment. If you like enthusiast product, professional wrestling, watch AEW. You can get it all on free television except the pay-per-views.
Yes. Let me tell you this, Myron. I will bluntly tell you. I understand what I'm about to say is because I'm not comparing WWE to the NFL. They're getting there. That's their plan. They're not close yet, but they want to. Do you know what it costs now to watch every football game if you wanted to?
Every football? It's going to cost a fortune because they spread it out all over the different medias. Oh.
There's games that are good. There's games that are going to be on Netflix, not every week, but there are games that are going to be on Netflix. There's a Sunday night game on Peacock or NBC every single week. Monday Night Football is on ESPN. You have Fox has games, CBS has games, and Prime Video has the Thursday game.
Yeah.
Do that math, folks. Oh, and by the way, if you're just like, no, you know what I can do? I'm going to go get the Sunday ticket. All right, well, stroke that check for like, if you don't have YouTube TV, I think it's like $600 or $700. And then you can watch every game on one place. Okay, well, why don't I just keep the services I have at that point?
I've already got the services because I can't watch this TV show here, and I can't watch this TV show.
Sunday ticket, by the way, has a value because, and then NFL Plus, they have the Red Zone channel on there as well, so you can get that on your cable pay. By the way, massive fan of the Red Zone. And people, look, there's a whole other conversation about people just bitching their ass off because now they run commercials on the Red Zone. They run 4 15-second commercials in 7 hours, and people bitched about it. And you ready for this? It was picture-in-picture commercials, or like the little, like Pat does on his show where they have like the little the border around it with an ad on it. That's what you're getting, and folks are losing their damn mind. So anyway, folks, I get it. If you don't want ESPN app, I understand. I'm telling you as a sports fan who watches fights, who watches football, who watches baseball, who watches basketball, who watches all the above. Because guess what? I love the old TNT basketball show. It's going to be on ESPN. They're moving it to ESPN. I'm good. It's a value. If not, Myron, I don't do this often. Don't subscribe and shut the fuck up. Move on. It's okay. I don't care if you get it or not. It's not my argument. My argument is I just don't even care anymore. I fed up with it because it's stupid. People, complain. I mean, when the network came out, people bitched about it being $10.
Yes.
Then it went to Peacock. Oh, I got to get another shirt. Like, it's okay, folks. I understand. It's never going to end. If you don't want to support it, that's cool. Don't buy the ESPN app. Let the ESPN get unhappy with them. Let ESPN drop them. Let Netflix drop them. Let them start losing a ton of money, which will get us into the ticket prices and all that. Let them lose a ton of money, and all your favorite wrestlers that you talk about you love, they're all going to get pay cuts and they're going to lose their jobs.
You'll be able to see them nearby. They'll be in local gyms and
they'll be back at the local indie scenes in no time. By the way, I'm not telling you to spend your money. I understand that. I'm just telling you if you don't want to spend your money, shut up and move on. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's not the end of the world.
Oh, hold on. If you want to have a say in politics, vote. Don't sit online and tell me who I should vote for. Don't sit online and post stuff nonstop about politics. I want to do something about politics. I'll vote. And this is voting with your money. It's no different.
Same exact thing.
Vote with your money.
Now, let's get positive. Let's get positive real quick. Let's turn this around. That was going down a dark rabbit hole Nick doesn't like to go down often. Positive news. We're going to talk about All Out in a second, but before we do, Tony Khan mentioned, and rumors, allegedly, if this is true, as I like to say on social media now, Tony Khan saying he's considering keeping some of the early pay-per-view start times.
Not bad.
It's better than ain't bad. I love it.
I love the 7 o'clock Raw, man. 9:30, I was done. I got laid down and started watching the YouTube videos on my iPad so I could go to work the next day.
I got to watch the end of the game. No competition. I'm watching the end of the football game. Again, dude, I'm in. I'm all aboard, folks. I love it. I love the early starts. I love the early finishes. By the way, you know what? I brought this. It's in the show notes. Young kids college kids, they can still go out. They can watch a pay-per-view PLE. If that bad boy's over it, because hey, you remember the days back in our day when we were younger? All right, it's 10 o'clock. Let's go out now.
Yeah, 10 o'clock now.
I'm in bed. I'm asleep. I'm out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I love wrestling, and I watch it whenever I can, but I don't mind it being earlier.
Myron, it's 9:35 p.m. They're lucky we're awake.
Yeah. And the AEW pay-per-views are really long, Nick. They're super, super long. Why not start them earlier so you're not on there till 3 o'clock in the morning?
If you don't believe me, go watch All Out. And you watch the first match and you watch the last match. And my argument was, right there's the reason these pay-per-views in the middle of the day are perfect. They did a 5-hour pay-per-view. It was 5 hours. And at the end of Hangman Page, that match, those fans were still hot. You know why? Because it was 8 o'clock.
Yep.
They still had all the energy in the world. And had that thing started at 7, at midnight, they're toast.
WWE did a
shout out to friend of the show. They would be toast.
Yes. 5-match pay-per-view that started at 7. I didn't stay up for the whole thing. Okay?
Yeah, I watched it all, but I was watching college football. But my point was, those fans, if you start that show at 3, like they did, I hate to steal somebody's lines, but they could be all gas and no breaks the whole show.
Yeah.
Because at 8 o'clock, 8:15, they're like, dude, we're still got some juice in us. It's early enough. I bet they went home and they crashed. But dude, I mean, come on, people think I'm kidding. WWE, roll that bad boy up at a 6 p.m. start. I'm good to go.
Me too.
It's like the Super Bowl. Kick off at 6 o'clock. Give me a PLE starting at 6 o'clock. That thing's wrapping up easily by 8:30, 9:30, somewhere in that range.
How about the overseas pay-per-views that start at like noon on a Saturday? We watch that pay-per-view and then go to indie shows that night. How do you beat that?
You can't beat it with a stick, Myron. It's absolutely, you just cannot beat it with a stick. So Tony Khan, hold on,
Tony, of you.
There you go. I was like, not me. I don't want to say it. Let Myron say it. Myron's like giving Tony Khan his props. He loves it.
Do things I like, and I love it.
Yeah.
Very simple. Thank you.
Speaking of All Out, few things we wanted to go over. Listen, folks, the reviews are on the website at the dollar level. You get the reviews. The Midnight Rider writes those. Everything that's up. That's on there. I'm not covering a 12-match show. It's not.
How about
happening.
the Green Bastard, man? Hell yeah. Huge Trailer Park Boys fan. Having Bubbles. They were in Canada. Yes. That was excellent. You popped me big time. AEW hits the dork in me. I got to get it. The dork and the wrestling nerd in me. They do a really good job of hitting it. They hit good job.
Shout out friend of the show, Garrett. I met, sent him this in a group text. Chris Statlander, boom, pulled the trigger. I ain't gonna lie to you, Tony. Stunned me. Never saw this coming. Tony Storm was on such a run. Never would have seen it coming. Thumbs up, big fan, and I'm eager to see where they go with her.
Yes.
Cope and Christian. That was a little down. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to beat them up. Look, I mean, it's one of the best tag teams in the world. FTR, one of the best tag teams of all times. Edge and Christian, Cope and Christian. Call them what you will. I do wanted to ask you, what'd you think?
I gotta love the shout outs and the tributes and stuff like that. Yeah, man, I love that.
You know why? Do you know what I said when I saw that? I showed my wife. Obviously, my wife's a big John Cena fan. And I kind of was like, do you know what this proves? The only real major beef it's not in the locker rooms, man. There's probably one or two guys. All of the discourse and the back and forth and the hate, dude, that's just people on the internet, and that shouldn't surprise us in the least.
We are all fans of the same thing, people. We're all fans of professional wrestling, sports entertainment. We're all fans of the same thing. Let's enjoy it instead of using the internet to hate each other about some totally just trivial stuff.
I agree. Another big winner on the card, Daniel Garcia. I think putting him obviously with the Death Riders, it's going to do a lot for his career. I think he had kind of gotten a little stagnant. It's time to reinvent him a little bit.
Yeah.
Get out of the little dancing thing he was doing.
Phenomenal wrestler.
Other loser, and I love Eddie Kingston at times. I mean, don't get me wrong. The only reason I put this down as a loser quote on this bracket, he returned. The match was okay, him and Big Bill. I'm a big fan. Look, I've had a friend of mine whisper in my ear something they'd love to see happen with Big Bill in AEW. I hope it happens. He knows who he is. But then, Eddie Kingston comes back, but then you bring Pac back. Jack Perry returns. Luchasaurus, you get the Jurassic Express. Like, the crowd went bananas, Myron. Hey, that's who they wanted. They love it. But here's your problem. Then you completely overshadowed and buried Eddie Kingston's return. I will say, one of the faults, I get it. I'm not burying it on this. It's just a comment. One of the things I feel like they do make a mistake at it's happened more than once. They feel like they have to do multiple returns on one show. And I'm like, no, man, spread it out a little bit. Let this guy come back, have his night. Let this, woman come back and have her night, etc. Don't throw me 3 or 4 returns, because by the time the fourth one happens, we're like, dude.
I'm not excited anymore. Too much shit for a nickel. I can't have all these surprises in one match. Let Eddie have his moment. Okay?
Well, not even that match. It's in the confines of one PL. Listen, I know you gave us a 6-hour damn show almost, but still 5 returns or 4 returns in a one pay-per-view is still pretty loaded. And here's, by the way, it's also, trying to be nice about this, it's one of the reasons that people that are accustomed to getting 3, 4, 5 surprises on a AEW pay-per-view complain, like, we didn't get any of that on a WWE. Again, not the same product, not the same at all. And by the way, that's because too much shit going on over there in that pay-per-view. That's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Speaking of a whole lot, this came down literally a couple hours before we recorded, so we're not going to go deep dive down the rabbit hole. But it's that time of year, folks, and I put up the little social media post with Chris Jericho reading the list. I don't know if you saw that. I thought it was funny. It's Jericho reading the list, and I'm kind of like, today, every wrestler looking at the PWI 500, figuring out where he is, and he's like, yay, I'm on the list. Wait, they put that guy above me? Or, there's 500 people and I couldn't get on the list or whatever.
I was absolutely shocked about parts of this list. Yes, it recognized some great wrestlers. But then it got to the point where it was like a popularity contest, like they were voting for class favorite. And I read the criteria. Let me read this. Read this one more time here. Let's see if I get it. Oh God, where is it at? It tells you how you get these awards, and it's based on this. Oh, here we go. Following criteria that includes a win-loss record, championships won, quality of competition, major feuds, prominence within a wrestler's promotion, and overall wrestling ability. They don't draw anything onto how much money they make, how much money they draw, anything like that. Win-loss record in a predetermined sport. Okay?
Listen, Myron, with all due respect to the PWI, I was a fan. I grew up. Hell, I've talked about doing, like, you know what we should really do? Remember the back of the magazine, they used to rank promotions and like the top 5 and the top 10 or whatever. I was like, maybe we should do that for Patreon. And I got to create like a template where I can put the picture of the wrestlers in it. So it'd be like the champion will be at the top, and then the top 3 contenders for the title.
That'll be a popularity contest. Nick McDaniel's popularity contest.
No. I wanted to do it like number 1 is the champion of the promotion. He would be number 1. Whoever's the number 1 contender for the title, he's number 1.
Well, how do you rank promotions? You got to rank promotions based on how much.
I'm not ranking promotions. I'm talking about like I would do Southern Honor. Joe Black would be the champion. Alexander Lev would be the number 1 contender. Ashton Starr, technically, I guess now would be number 2. He's the Jake the Snake Legacy champion. You see what I mean? So it would be and by the way, I was thinking like I just reach out to the promotions and be like, "Could you tell me who your list is?" I'm like, "Who's your contenders?" And that kind of stuff. I mean, that's as about as legit as I can make it. I'm not making the list, right? But anyway, all that to be said, I've said it about every list, including ours. When we make lists, I say the exact same things, folks. If you're on the list, awesome. You should be proud. It's great. If you're not on the list, who cares? It doesn't really matter, and it's not the end of the world. I understand why people, it is super cool to grow up. I want to be a wrestler someday, and I want to see my name in the PWI 500. I understand that. I really do. Don't say that. That's a political joke. I'm not going to say. Point being, we clearly know how this thing works. It has been established over the years. Now, Cody Rhodes being number 1? Sure. Do I think so? Probably so. Based on the last, their calendar that they're using, sure. Moxley, Gunther, Hangman, insert anybody into this list, sure. You could make the case. That's the thing with wrestling, right, Myron? You could almost make a case for anybody.
Yeah, it's subjective.
Yeah. Why is Will Ospreay 10? Because he's the best technical wrestler on the planet. Okay, gotcha. Awesome.
Well, who does Haruki go to? I had to look that guy up. He's Japan. Did they need a guy from Japan to stick in there?
No, it's just the people that look. I openly tell you, I'll flip on YouTube and watch some New Japan stuff if it intrigues me, and if it doesn't, I'll turn it off. But we're not diehard, New Japan wrestling fans. By the way, I'm really intrigued where this Noah thing's going with WWE. We'll see. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but curious.
Yeah, they're going to get Noah.
Yeah. So, again, if you're on the list, run with it.
Congratulations.
Do you want to know who the epitome of it is? I don't know. Go check out big friend of the show, Big Trouble Ben Bishop. His reaction is exactly what I say. That's how a wrestler should react to being on the list. Same way, I get it, folks. I'm a little bit of a homer. The way Grillo was, way he responded to being ranked the number 25 wrestler in Georgia, that's the way you should handle it. If you're not on the list, whatever. It's okay.
Does it affect your payroll? Does the PWI 500 affect what you
Ben
draw?
Bishop says his rate's going up because he's on the list.
Okay, today I worked the drive-through all day, 6 straight hours of nothing but working at a drive-through window. My salary for doing
put fries in the bag.
Yes, fries in the bag, the whole thing. They didn't pay me any less to do that. Okay, as long as your rate's not affected, don't worry about it. If it makes your rates go up, wonderful. Do what you can, leverage what you can, get some exposure out of it if you can get it. If not,
listen. Before we get out of here, Myron, I'm gonna tell you, I had literally in my brain. I had this conversation with myself. I'm flipping through the list. Matter of fact, I've got it right here. I was flipping through, just kind of going okay, and I literally went, "You're trying to tell me that dude's better than that dude? There ain't no way." And I went, Nick, Shelton Benjamin is 149. And I said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Now, I get it, folks. Well, he doesn't. Dude would tear up most of the guys in wrestling.
Yes.
And listen, kids, I apologize if you're listening. I've dropped more F-bombs on this show than I probably had the rest of the year.
All year, yes.
But that's where we are on This Week in Pro Wrestling. But you get my point. I don't take it seriously in that sense. And I caught myself going, Nick, you're taking it too serious.
If you were putting together one of those fantasy feds or whatever they used to do, would this list affect who you picked?
No.
If it matters to you, it matters to you. Okay? It's the internet. Just enjoy it. Have some fun reading this list. Read it on the toilet if you're constipated. It's a long list. Show it to your friends. Nothing to get heated about. Nothing to worry about.
We said all that to say is I got completely heated about it because I was with myself, by the way. Full disclosure, I was arguing with myself about it because I thought I was a moron because I'm sitting there arguing that I thought this guy was way better than this guy.
And so the purpose of the list to make people think and talk about it is exactly why they put this list out. To stir the pot and to sell magazines. Okay?
Yeah. Create conversation, sell magazines.
Controversy equals cash. What's Eric's statement? Controversy.
That's it. Controversy creates cash. Exactly. And that's what they've done, folks. Again, if you're on the list, I tip my cap to you.
Congratulations.
Absolutely. I think it's an awesome thing. If you're not on the list, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I'll see you at the Georgia Wrestling History Awards banquet this year.
Probably so. Possibly so. Yeah, who knows? Well, man, that's everything for this week. I got to get out of here because I'm getting wound up. That is not useful for me.
Send all your calm down before you sleep. Go to sleep, man.
There's medications for that, right? There's medications for that. But again, tappedoutpod@gmail.com. Send all your any questions, any thoughts, anything. We always appreciate the feedback.
Yes,
make sure you're subscribing. Patreon.com. I went over the laundry list of stuff. I can't believe, if you're even a member at any level and you're not a member at the $25 level, Myron, would you agree? What are you doing? Every month there's an autographed 8.5 by 11.
Not an 8 by 10.
8.5 by 11.
Larger square footage right there.
That half inch and that extra inch.
Yes.
It's that little bit extra to give you that extraordinary. Exactly. And it's exclusive.
It sounds like a Conrad commercial.
It could be. It could be. Hims.com. But it's also, we'd like to tell you, it's exclusive. It's a design that comes up. It's the only place. There's only a handful of them. Nowhere else. It's not a regular 8 by 10, just photograph. It's going to have some character, going to have some design. That's what it's all for. Again, check out, subscribe, turn that notification bell on YouTube. We appreciate all you guys taking care of us, supporting us along the way. Patreon's at an all-time high. We appreciate you. YouTube keeps climbing. We appreciate you. And we hope you guys are okay with the change, because if not, tappedoutpod@gmail.com. Let me know, and it's not going to change.
Don't make him curse you. Don't make him curse you. He's looking to curse people.
No, I'm good. I'm okay. But I'm just saying, look, it's not going to go back. But if you're not happy with it, you could let me know. Because here's the thing, Myron. And would you agree?
You get what you get, and you don't pitch a fit.
No. Listen, I honestly hope with the new stuff that we put in that slot, I'm hoping that they understand, they see the value in that more so.
Yes.
That's kind of the thing. Listen, it became a chore the way it was, and we talked about that. Let's full disclosure here, tell people it literally was. It felt like we were just reading for like an hour plus. I want to make it a little more enjoyable, split it up, have some multiple takes on it, multiple people involved, especially when we get to the rewind. Like, hey, guys, there's going to be wrestlers giving feedback on this conversation. You're going to have your Jack Jamesons, your Sal Renatos, the Grillos, the Bryce Cannons, so it's going to be.
I thought I was going to get to upload some of my Bigfoot hunting videos.
No. Damn it. Listen, anything else you got to want to cover before we get out of here?
Man. I'm worn out. I'm going to, as my grandmother used to say, shit and go to bed right.
Let's, with that, Simon, if you got nothing else, what's the old saying, man? If I've got nothing and you've got nothing, what time is it?
It's time to tap out.